Ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside Chrysler Arena here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, as the Michigan women's basketball team starts its postseason here in the WNIT against the Wright State Raiders. My name is Brett Graham, here alongside Emily Herrard here for WCBN FM Ann Arbor Sports. Emily, how you doing? You made it here just on time. You had to run, but
exactly. I just ran from basketball, actually. YMCA second grade basketball.
And how'd you do?
Pretty good. I think they won today. We don't keep score, but
okay,
I kind of do in my mind. So I think
that'll have to suffice for right now. But turning away from YMCA basketball, we're going to turn to Michigan women's basketball, as Kim Barnes-Arico is the only coach in school history to lead the Wolverines to a postseason in all four of her first four seasons. The Michigan women's basketball team that came off of a very disappointing showing in the Big Ten tournament, losing very early to Iowa. What kind of storylines are we looking for here today, Emily?
Well, it's always disappointing with an early loss in a Big Ten tournament like that, and the Wolverines are looking to make the NCAA tournament at some point. But for a young team, this WNIT is a very important learning and growing experience for young players like Hallie Thome and Caitlin Flaherty. She was a bench player last year while the Wolverines were in the WNIT, so this is going to be an opportunity for players like Caitlin and Sierra Thompson to just really take their leadership roles to another level.
And we have two young players in the starting lineup for Michigan. The lineup tonight, Madison Rostowski, Sierra Thompson, and Caitlin Flaherty at guard, along with Brookie Brzezowski, the freshman, and Hallie Thome, the freshman, at center. For the Wright State Raiders coming into this contest 24-10, they're starting Kim Demings, Mackenzie Taylor, Simone Denham, Lexi Smith, and I looked everywhere for a pronunciation guide in the press pack from Wright State, and I think this name is Rochelle Vanderkyle, but she's from the Netherlands. I have no idea if I'm spelling that correct, if I'm saying that correctly, and if I'm not, and you know something, tweet in at us.
Vanderkeel?
Vanderkeel? I was going with Kyle, but maybe Keel is better. Anyway, we're underway. We're almost underway here in sunny Ann Arbor, tropical Ann Arbor. Even it got up to 57 today. A decent crowd is filing in, as it's a big day for Michigan basketball here, as the men's team, seeded number 11 in March Madness in the men's tournament, takes on Tulsa. That game starts at 9, and we'll have coverage in Dayton for you. Big day of WCBN Sports after a huge home win for the softball team, 14-1. Not bad.
Not bad at all. I did hear one of the players in one of my classes saying how she thought that this was going to be an easy game when someone asked, but...
And there goes the tip-off, and we are underway here in Ann Arbor with a quick layup from number 4, Kim Demings. Sierra Thompson's going to bring it back, and she'll find Hallie Thome down low. Hallie Thome back to Sierra Thompson, but it looks like she stepped on the line, and it's going to be the Raiders' ball. The Raiders with a black and dark green theme tonight, making it very difficult to see the numbers. I'm so excited to see how this plays out. Demings now at the top of the key, bringing it down. She'll swing it around to Denham. Denham bringing it down, but a whistle blown, and it's going to be Michigan basketball. Sierra Thompson now. Inbounded from Rostowski. Over to Flaherty on the elbow. Into Thome. Thome with the layup try, but no good. Back out to Thompson. Thompson's going to make that jumper for 2, and we're tied up.
Strong move by Thome. Even though she missed her layup, she was corralled her own rebound and found a wide-open Thompson.
Demings, the senior now, working it down for Wright State. She's from Indiana and having a little bit of a tough time with the press defense that we've seen is so popular with Kim Barnes-Arico. But ultimately, it's going to be Rochelle Vanderkyle Keel with the travel on her layup, and it's going to be Michigan basketball once again. Danielle Williams, who is starting, finds Hallie Thome, who gets her own rebound. But twice is too much. It's going to be a jump ball there caused by number 12, Mackenzie Taylor. And the ball will stay with Michigan. 26 seconds left on the shot clock. Score is tied 2-2. Sierra Thompson with the inbound. Over to Caitlin Flaherty from beyond the arc. That's good for 3. And Wright State will have possession once again. It's number 22, Vanderkyle, bringing it down. Now on the wing, a drive, a layup, no good, but a whistle blown. It's going to be on that call is going to be on Thome.
And Hallie Thome has to be careful. She gets into foul trouble quick in games. She just got her first. The Wolverines have to keep their feet moving on defense. The Raiders have some quick players, especially in Demings.
And Simone Denham will miss her first free throw from, basically the worst place on earth, Columbus, Ohio. But she will take her second free throw.
She can't help that, though.
Yeah, it's not her fault, but, whose is it? So she'll make her second, and the score is now 5-3 with Michigan ahead. Sierra Thompson finds Caitlin Flaherty on the wing. In once again to Hallie Thome. Hallie Thome back out to Sierra Thompson. Now Danielle Williams driving the baseline, but that layup is going to be no good, and Demings is going to run it back for the Wright State Raiders. Her attempt at a layup, and she tried to draw the foul call, is going to be no good. The ball is going to go out of bounds, but it's going to stay with Wright State. Inbounded now. Demings trying to free herself up. She gets beyond the arc, puts up a 3, but no good. Hallie Thome with the rebound. Michigan basketball. Danielle Williams bringing it down with Flaherty. Flaherty gets tripped up right beyond the arc, and it's going to go Wright State ball. That's once again Welch. And that's going to be no good. Her layup the other way. Hallie Thome with the rebound. Back all the way down to Flaherty in the exact same spot she was about 15 seconds ago. Sierra Thompson from the corner. That's good for 3. Sierra Thompson now with 5 of Michigan's 8 points, and a little bit of the press defense continuing now. But missed coverage down low, and Vanderkyle's going to have her first 2 of the night. Now it's Rostovsky bringing it down with Thompson. Hallie Thome floating down. Flaherty now on the wing. She'll pull up for 3. That's going to be no good. Rostovsky, though, with the rebound, and the clock resets. Into Hallie Thome. She's going to drive 3-on-1. She drives and gets the travel called. It's going to go Raiders ball.
I was just about to compliment her for a strong move to the basket. I wasn't looking at her feet, just how strong she went through 2 defenders. But at the end of the day, can't take too many steps.
Yeah, I think her left foot dragged a little bit there, and it looks like there's a substitution being made for the Raiders. It's going to be Simone Simmons, also from Columbus, Ohio, who's going to enter the game now. A foul was called on Simmons right as she got in. The team's second, and Simone Simmons is going to go to the foul line.
So far in this game, the Wolverines have just had a hard time on defense getting in the right place, and as a result, they've had to foul close to the basket.
She will make her first, bring the score to 8-6. Michigan still ahead, and she'll make her second as well. Now Sierra Thompson bringing it back down for Michigan. She faces some pressure at the top of the key, but hands it off to Williams. Williams, a lot of traffic in the lane there, and a foul is going to be called, it looks like, on number 4, Kim Demings. There are 3 minutes gone here in the first period, and Michigan has a point lead. Danielle Williams now to the line.
And it's an interesting start by Kim Barnes-Arico to put Danielle Williams in as the starter. We've seen Kelsey Mitchell, Boogie Brzezowski, who's checking in right now, but Danielle Williams hasn't gotten a lot of starts this season.
She's only gotten 2 of them, but she has played in all 30 games, so she's a very familiar presence on the floor. Having missed her first, she'll make her second, and the score is now 9-7. Boogie Brzezowski checks in, and Danielle Williams is going to sit right down. Wright State brings the ball in now, but it's going to be a quick steal there from Madison Rostovsky for a quick 2, and the score is 11-7. Madison Rostovsky, who is tying today Nicole Elmblad's record of career games played at 133.
And with that play right there, you see that Madison Rostovsky does not want this to be her last game played as a Wolverine.
Absolutely not. A foul called, though, on Sierra Thompson, I believe. And Wright State's going to bring the ball down now. Boogie Brzezowski defending Demings. Outside, the defense looks pretty set. Now it's going to be Simmons who drives. And the layup is no good. She was a little bit off balance there. But her center there, Vanderkyle, is right there and makes the layup. It's now 11-9. On the way down the court, it gets a little bit hectic, and the ball goes out of bounds. Good. Michigan will maintain possession.
Caitlin Flaherty had a good thought trying to get the ball down low to Thumb quickly in the transition, but Vanderkeel was too quick and too tall with her hands up, just knocking that out of bounds.
Jillian Dunston now checking in as Madison Rostovsky sits down. The ball inbounded to Flaherty with 24 seconds left on the shot clock. Working around the arc, not much inside penetration from any of the Wolverines. Flaherty once again. A pick set by Thome. Flaherty will have the lane, but she'll pull up for a jumper. No good. Thome with the rebound. Back out to Flaherty. That time it's good for 2. She was just inside the line, so the score will stand at 13-9. Press defense again here from the Wolverines. This time it's Flaherty. And Simmons is going to get in there, but miss her layup. And now it's Boogie Brzezowski pushing the tempo the other way. A thread-the-needle pass is out of the hands of Caitlin Flaherty. And the Raiders are going to get that ball back.
A little miscommunication by the Wolverines. Boogie Brzezowski had a lane to the basket, but it was also a pretty nifty pass. Just Flaherty was unable to hold on to it.
It was nifty? Come on, Emily. Wright State bringing it back down the other way. A missed three-point ball is going to be rebounded and recovered by Kelsey Mitchell. Now, Boogie Brzezowski trying her darndest for a layup, but no good. Demings bringing it back down the other way. A lot of energy, high tempo right now for both teams here in the first quarter. And then another 3 missed. Once again, that was Simmons. But this time, Wright State will get their own rebound, and a jump ball is called. And it's going to save that side of the court. Wright State is now 1 of its last 5, shooting only 33%, and losing the offensive and defensive rebounds game by a significant margin. The inbound now is going to be a little bit sloppy, and I think that was headed for number 22, Vanderkyle. But a foul called on Brzezowski.
And again, the Wolverines just not rotating on defense, leaving Simmons in the corner wide open for that 3, and they're lucky that the Raiders aren't hitting all their shots right now.
And that was Lexi Smith who was fouled, 25, not Vanderkyle, 22. These jerseys are very difficult to read. But she made her first. The score is now 13-10 as Nicole Munger checks in. And she'll make her second. Now 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Michigan with a 2-point lead. Sierra Thompson pushing tempo down the other way. Brzezowski now. She'll drive the lane, pass it back out to Sierra Thompson, who misses her 3-point shot. And Denham is going to bring it back down the other way for the Raiders. An off-balance layup, 2 off-balance layups, and the third time is the charm. And Sierra Thompson now bringing it back down the other way for the Michigan Wolverines. We have a tie game now, 13-13. And Wright State's going to return with possession. Kim Demings now. A foul called, but not the way the Wolverine fans like it. Apparently, if you can't hear the oohs that just emitted from our Maize and Blue faithful here. It's going to be it looks like a block called rather than a charge. And a timeout is going to be called in the first 5.5 minutes. What's working? What's not working right now?
Well, so far it looks like both teams are not playing their basketball. It's probably been a while since both teams have played a real game, and they just need to get into the flow of it. The Wolverines are led by their top shooters, Sierra Thompson and Caitlin Flaherty. They both have 5, but it doesn't seem like there's a rhythm on offense for the Wolverines. Hallie Thome has tried to get her offensive going down low, but Wright State has put a lot of pressure on her, so she's got to make sure that she's looking for shooters. She did find Thompson for an open jumper, so that's the type of things the Wolverines need to continue to do on offense. But on defense, they need to play with a little more hustle, and I don't know if going into this full court pressure is necessarily the correct thing to do right now, because it seems like they're just a step too slow on the rotation, so they might need to just settle into their half-court defense until they get more comfortable in this game.
Caitlin Flaherty, 2 for 6 on the night with 5 points. She and Thompson sharing the Lionesses' share of Michigan's offense thus far. But Caitlin Flaherty has been phenomenal offensively, scoring in double figures in all but one game this season and ranking 9th nationally with her 23 points per game. She's had 7 games with 30 points or more and 19 games with 20 points or more. So all of the hype that we felt and helped make public last year when she was a freshman is really turning out for Caitlin Flaherty. She has 677 points thus far this season, and that's the best single season total in school history.
And we see her have some slow starts to games, but even with the slow starts, as you said, she still gets in the double digits, the 20s, and even the 30s, and it's been a good start for her so far with 5. She already hit a 3, so she just needs to continue to get good looks at the basket.
You know what the number that impresses me right now, though, is Hallie Thome's rebounds. She's already got 6 rebounds in not even 6 minutes of play. The first free throw is going to be missed by Wright State. And the second one as well. Caitlin Flaherty now pushing tempo at the other side of the court. She has Sierra Thompson, Nicole Munger now floating by the elbow. Caitlin Flaherty running baseline. Not many people in the lane there, although it changed very quickly. Hallie Thome now. Nicole Munger in the lane with a short little two-pointer, but no good. And with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, it's going to be Wright State basketball again. That's Vogelpohl, who's handling the ball now for the Raiders. And a miscalculated off-balance layup is going to be rebounded, and now Denham on the outside. Denham's going to drive, lose control of the ball, and a double dribble is called. Ball to Michigan.
Back to Hallie Thome's rebounds. She averages 5 rebounds a game, so she's already past that before the end of the first quarter.
I think this is a fairly small Wright State team, and she's by far the tallest one on the court. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. The score is tied 13-13 as a miscalculated shot went up from Sierra Thompson and is rebounded by the Raiders. Now in the other direction, unsuccessful, a layup from the Raiders. And Caitlin Flaherty now has the ball. She's going to pass it out to Thompson beyond the arc. Thompson tries to lay it up and into Thome, but no good. But Thompson is going to intercept the pass the other way, and a foul was called. So her little layup at the end is going to be no good, but it looks like she will go to the line. I'm sorry, it's going to be an inbound now. Sierra Thompson out to Flaherty, who's going to miss that 3 ball. And Demings now back for the Raiders. With not much offensive help, except she found Vogelpaul out from 3. It's going to be an air ball, no good. But a layup up and in from number 12, that's Mackenzie Taylor. That'll be good. And the end one. And the Wright State Raiders are already in the bonus.
And we're having quite a scoring drought by both teams from the field. Wright State's 2 of their last 10, Michigan 2 of their last 9, as the score is still close, 15-13.
Definitely not the kind of field goal percentages that you want to see if you're either of these coaches. The score now 16-13, Wright State Raiders up ahead. Sierra Thompson and Nicole Munger working the ball outside around the arc, along with Jillian Dunstan. Caitlin Flaherty and Munger now. Jillian Dunstan looking for position on one of the blocks, and an air ball from Nicole Munger is going to give possession back to the Wright State Raiders. Kim Demings bringing the ball down. Her layup's going to be no good. And then Vanderkyle's layup after her rebound is going to be also no good. Mackenzie Taylor's shot, no good. And finally, the Wolverines are going to recover possession, but Sierra Thompson was tripped on her way down. A whistle called, and it looks like it's going to stay with Michigan.
So far, this has just been one of those games where it seems like players are having a hard time staying on their feet, and that just kind of illustrates the rest of the game as well, how the play has been going.
Michigan has not scored in over 3 minutes now, but Sierra Thompson is going to bring the ball down and hope to change some of that. Some crisp passes. Munger now diving. Jillian Dunstan, 10 seconds left on the shot clock. She finds Thompson. Thompson drives. That layup's good. And now the Michigan Wolverines are only down by 1. Some miscommunication about the inbound, and Mackenzie Taylor is going to go grab it for the Raiders. Just a minute and 25 seconds left here in the first quarter as Taylor and Demings try to counteract the press defense that is being used to perfection by the Michigan Wolverines. A long 3 ball is going to miss, and Munger is going to bring it back down. Munger now and Flaherty. Flaherty finds Thompson, who drives once again, steps back, floats it up and into to Haley Thome, who's going to miss her layup. We're inside a minute now, and the Michigan Wolverines are still down a point. Kim Demings bringing it across the timeline. 45 seconds left in the quarter, 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Demings to Taylor. Back to Demings, who's guarded by Thompson. Back to Taylor, and a slip from Nicole Munger, who's defending, is going to result in a 3-pointer from Taylor. The score now 19-15, Wright State Raiders. With just 18 seconds left in the first quarter, Sierra Thompson has the ball at the top of the key. Back over to Munger, who got a little bit overzealous in her defense and was the cause of that last 3-pointer. Sierra Thompson is going to make a short 2-pointer rather, from the free-point line, and time will expire in the first quarter. The Michigan Wolverines trailing the Wright State Raiders by a score of 19-17. Emily, if there's one thing that, as we're looking over at the Michigan bench and seeing that Kim Barnes-Zarico is having a little talk with her players, what is she saying to them right now?
Well, one thing I think is probably just energy. I mean, we've seen hustle from Nicole Munger and Boogie Brzezowski off the bench, but it just seems like the whole team looks a little sluggish and just their head isn't in the game. Although Sierra Thompson has been playing amazing so far. She's 4 or 5 with 9 points. She averages 9 points a game. And one thing that I've seen is if the Wolverines can get Sierra Thompson and Caitlin Flaherty to be productive on the same day, it is very good for them. So they need to just continue to try to get Sierra Thompson the ball. But I also want to see Hallie Thome to be stronger down low. She hasn't made any of her shots so far. She is 0 for 3, but as you said, she has 6 rebounds and 2 assists. So if they can just work their offense from down low and kick it back out, that would be good. But on defense, the Wolverines definitely need to step up the energy.
You know, you mentioned Hallie Thoman. She's not been a presence offensively, really, but she leads. She's second nationally and also second in the Big Ten in terms of field goal percentage at 64%. Today, she is 0 for 3, and from not very far away, from pretty much in the paint the entire time. You got to wonder if she's out of position, if she's having an off day, or if, for some reason she's being, outmatched down low, which is kind of hard to see with such a small and feisty Wright State team.
Yeah, the Wright State team is definitely feisty down low. They are double teaming Thome, so some of the passes haven't even gotten to her. So maybe just the effort to get position down low is wearing her down a little bit. And also, Thome is a freshman, and although this isn't the biggest stage for postseason play, it's still the postseason, and she could be feeling a little nerves out there right now.
Absolutely. Sierra Thompson, though, once again, the offensive, the floor general, really, for the Michigan Wolverines. She has 12 assists. She's 12 assists away from tying a season record as she brings it down for the Wolverines right now. Beginning the second quarter, she'll drive, find Jillian Dunstan, caught in traffic and double teamed. The ball goes out of bounds off of Taylor, and the Wolverines maintain possession.
It looks like Wright State is being a little physical down low. We see Jillian Dunstan trying to get position, almost looking at the refs like she wants a foul called. She's not going to get it.
And Sierra Thompson's inbound will go right to Danielle Williams, who is fouled and goes to the line right now. Danielle Williams, an interesting presence on the court, as we talked about earlier, has not been the most consistent starter, has not necessarily been always been there, but seems to be the energy and the force and shows a lot of hustle when she does get time. She made her first there. And the second one is good, so the score is now tied 19-19, Wright State basketball. Denham now over to Taylor. I'm sorry, not Taylor, Vogelpohl. Now over to Taylor. Back to Denham. On the wing. Finds Taylor at the top of the key. Taylor guarded by Dunstan now. Vogelpohl and Denham are alternating driving and not being very successful. Denham lost control of her dribble on the third try, and it went out of bounds. Michigan basketball. Dunstan inbounds it to Sierra Thompson. Williams, Thome, and Flaherty are the other three Wolverines in play. Williams to Dunstan. Sierra Thompson now on the wing, looking for some help. Williams is going to be the one who drives it, but once again, her attempt is no good. And it's going to be Wright State basketball. Vogelpohl, who is currently taking a little bit of instruction, it looks like, from head coach Mike Bradbury before she starts this possession. And a travel is going to be called on her teammate Denham.
And that will be their 7th turnover. And this first half, the Wolverines also have 6. So both teams in the locker room are going to be talking about taking care of the basketball.
Not very good at all. And that rebounding deficit that I was talking about earlier has switched now. Wright State is up 17-14 in terms of rebounds, but Hallie Thome is going to try to counteract that as she just did. 25 seconds left on the shot clock as Sierra Thompson resets the offense up top. She's defended by Vogelpohl. Flaherty on the wing. She'll drive, but a double dribble is called even though her layup was good.
And a lot of these turnovers have been unforced, such as Caitlin Flaherty right there, double dribbling. We've seen Wright State dribble it off their own foot, double dribble as well. So both teams just need to start to focus a little more.
Not exactly the most clean game of basketball we've ever seen here played at Chrysler. Although we should mention that this is the first ever game between these two programs. Taylor now on the wing. Her three is not going to be any good. But after some diving for a rebound, Kim Barnes-Arico is going to be right there cheering on Danielle Williams and pretty much about a foot or two away, doing a little bit of a Harbaugh squat and scream, I think. But nonetheless, jump ball is called, and it's going to stay with Wright State. The inbound now. And Vogelpohl is defended by Sierra Thompson. Over to Taylor in the corner. Her three is going to rattle around and be no good. Hallie Thome, rather, with her 8th rebound of the night. Boogie Brzezowski will lose the ball in traffic in the lane the other direction, and Vogelpohl has it once again. Her layup, no good. And a foul called. It's going to go down Michigan's way.
Started to look like volleyball a little bit under the basket before that foul was called.
The Wright State Raiders, coming off of their most recent game, was a loss on March the 12th against Milwaukee in the Horizon League tournament in Green Bay, not so sunny Green Bay, Wisconsin. Danielle Williams now on the elbow, excuse me. Boogie Brzezowski gets the ball, is driving, hands it off to Hallie Thome. Back out to Boogie Brzezowski. And Sierra Thompson now drives the baseline. She pulls up, and that too is good. Michigan now leads 21-19, their first lead in a while. And number 25, Lexi Smith, is going to be working it down with the Raiders. Vanderkyle's layup is going to be no good. And a whistle called, jump ball, possession Michigan. Not a bad sequence of events there if you're Kim Barnes-Arico, including a really aggressive diving on the floor from Danielle Williams, a jump ball that went your way, a beautiful little shot from Sierra Thompson that shows that there's offensive production possible, and then a stop the other end of the court that puts an entirely new spin on, we're not allowed to use this word, but momentum of the game. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the second quarter. Michigan leads 21-19. The ball in now to Kelsey Mitchell, rather. But she will travel, I guess the call is, and the ball goes to the Wright State Raiders.
I have to say the Wolverines have 9 turnovers, and the majority of them have to be just from traveling.
Yeah, you don't really like to see all that this late in the season. Wow, how about a hustled play on the other end from a stray ball from Danielle Williams? She's going to be getting her brownie points with Kim Barnes-Arico tonight. Rostovsky now, she's going to pass the ball into Kelsey Mitchell, who thinks better of her matchup right now with Vanderkyle, but tries again, and the layup is no good. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. Vogelpohl bringing it down the other way for Wright State will be unsuccessful. 2 rebounds, but that's not enough for Wright State. Kelsey Mitchell with the rebound for the Wolverines, and now Jillian Dunston hands it to Madison Rosowski on the arc. Her 3 is going to be no good. Lackluster shooting from the Wolverines all around tonight. And Vogelpohl will try to get back on top with 5 minutes left. A dribble is going to go a little bit astray there after number 25, Lexi Smith, gets a little bit rocked out of control. Sierra Thompson now defending with Mackenzie Taylor. And Danielle Williams is going to be responsible for the tip. And then the layup successful from Sierra Thompson. The score is 23-19.
And that was all Danielle Williams. We saw it.
It was the Danielle Williams show.
She started defense against Smith, who then got the ball knocked, I guess, off Danielle Williams onto the other side of the court, and she thought that it was dribbled off her, so she wasn't really hustling towards the ball. Her coach was screaming at her, and she finally gets it. There are 5 seconds on on the shot clock. And then Danielle Williams again helps lead to the transition with the steal. And Sierra Thompson is now 6 for 7 with 13 points. So she's leading the Wolverines along with Danielle Williams and just all her 50-50 hustle plays.
Hallie Film with 9 rebounds thus far. And the leader in both points and rebounds is the elusively named Vanderkyle, or Keel, over on Wright State. She has 6.6 rebounds. And one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is that the top scorer for Wright State all season long has been Kim Demings, and now she has 3 fouls and has been sitting down for the past little while.
She only has 2 points on 1 for 3 shooting. She probably won't get going too much in this half just because of her foul trouble. Currently, Wright State is shooting 22%. The Wolverines better, but still 33%. And the Wolverines haven't been getting a lot of movement on offense, and neither is Wright State. We see Sierra Thompson has been making a lot of the offense for herself. She also has 1 rebound and 1 assist.
Not the kind of play that you want to see from a team in the postseason on either sides of the basketball right now. And the winner of tonight's contest will go on to face the winner of Akron versus Bucknell in the second round of the WNIT. And then if the Michigan Wolverines were so fortunate to make it to round 3, they would have potential to see a Big Ten rival in Northwestern, who is playing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central Time against San Diego. But Kim Demings, regardless of the 3 fouls she has on her, she's going to come back out on the court for the last 4 minutes and 40-some seconds. Over to Simmons, over to Taylor. To Vanderkyle is going to be a missed shot from right inside the foul line. Rostovsky will drive the other way. Finds Williams rather. Williams' shot rattles around and falls. Michigan leads 25-19. Dunham now. Her pass to Taylor is going to result in a successful 3-point shot. Beautifully executed from beyond the arc, and the lead is now only 25-22. Danielle Williams is going to slow the pace a little bit, and I don't think anybody's complaining. I think they look pretty out of breath. Caitlin Flaherty over to Madison Rostovsky. Kelsey Mitchell in the game now as the guardian of the lane. Jillian Dunstan's 2-pointer is going to be no good. Kat Demings bringing it back the other way. Behind the back dribble against her defender, Sierra Thompson. Finds Denham, who goes up and is good for 2. Rostovsky now over to Danielle Williams. Now into Kelsey Mitchell, who doesn't like her options and passes back out to the top of the key in Madison Rostovsky. Only 14 seconds left on the shot clock, though. Kelsey Mitchell likes her odds this time, but not too much. Passes it out to Danielle Williams, and that's good for 3. Danielle Williams with a star performance thus far tonight.
She's definitely stepping up for the Wolverines. She has 8 points.
The score is 28-24. Kat Demings is going to try the same thing from out at 3-point, but she's not going to make it. A basket the other direction by Lexi Smith. It was a short little layup. Madison Rostovsky at the top of the key. Moves towards the right wing. Some movement down low with Mitchell. Mitchell likes her odds now. Little up and in is good for 2. Great extension. Reached right around her defender, and the score is now 30-26 as we're nearing halftime. A stray pass is going to be taken by who else but Danielle Williams. That's good for another 2, and the Michigan Wolverines lead 32-26.
And that got the crowd and the Wolverines up off the bench, off their feet, and they're pumped now. Danielle Williams has 10 points, a rebound, and she must have at least 2 steals. She has 3 steals on the night.
She has 3 steals, 10 point, phenomenal production from Danielle Williams. Just a lot of energy, a lot of heads up basketball. And for those who are looking at this Michigan Wolverines team and saying, well, Madison Rostowski is not going to be there next year, and Kelsey Mitchell is going to graduate at the end of this year, and they're looking to see who's going to bring that enthusiasm and be ready to be the next standard bearer of Michigan basketball. And for all intents and purposes right now, looks like Danielle Williams is going to play a little bit of a bigger role than many would have expected.
Exactly. Danielle Williams, she's a junior. She's going to have that leadership role. I bet even though we don't, until tonight, see a whole lot of her on the court, you can tell that she's just a presence on the team that is respected.
Demings and Smith bring it the other way for the Wright State Raiders as they try to get something going right before halftime. Their first attempt at a layup is going to be no good, but Vander Kyle will put it right back after the rebound, and the lead for the Michigan Wolverines is only 4 now. Hallie Thome maneuvering inside. She'll be fouled, it looks like, and that's a count on number 22. Vander Kyle from I'm probably saying that's so wrong. I feel so bad. She's from Delft in the Netherlands. And if you're Dutch and can help me, please tweet at WCBN Sports. Hallie Thumb's going to miss her second free throw after making her first, and the score is 33-28. Minute and 36 seconds left. Kim Demings, not Kat Dennings. Kim Demings bring the ball down for the Wright State Raiders. Over to Denham, defended by Caitlin Flaherty. Now in to Vander Kyle. She is good for 2, though. And the lead for the Michigan Wolverines is only 3. Nicole Munger, who's now on the court. A charge was attempted to be acted out there by Mackenzie Taylor, but it's not going to be successful. And instead, Hallie Thome is going to have a nice little layup for 2. We're inside a minute here. The Michigan Wolverines lead 35-30, despite shooting only 42% from the field thus far today. And with 9 turnovers, they are still up out in front of the Raiders. Basket from the sophomore from Chicago, Lexi Smith, will bring it to within 3 as we hit the 30-second mark before halftime. Caitlin Flaherty now at the top of the key, finds Thompson. Thompson back to Flaherty, who'll drive. Defended by Denham. Flaherty drives the 3rd time is the charm, and her reverse layup is good. 37-32. Kim Demings with not much time left on the clock, only 8 seconds. She'll bring it down. She'll lose her dribble. It'll go over to Denham. 4 seconds left on the shot again, and she once again loses her dribble. Denham with the buzzer beater, but it's no good. And we're at halftime now in Chrysler Arena. The Michigan Wolverines lead the Wright State Raiders by a score of 37-32. My name is Brett Graham alongside Emily Herrard. We're going to take a short break for halftime. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Chrysler. I'm Emily Herrard here with Brett Graham as the Wolverines take on Wright State in the first round of the WNIT. The Wolverines are up 37-32, and they were on a bit of a roll at the end of the first half. They made 5 of their last 5. Brett, do you think the Wolverines have what it takes to finish off this game against the Raiders?
Well, if they have what it takes to finish it off and make it definitive, they haven't shown any of that yet. Both teams struggling offensively, shooting well below 50%. Wright State shooting around 32, and Michigan only barely beating them around 44. In order to have a decisive win in the first round of this WNIT and really be confident going into their next game against either Akron or Bucknell next week, this Michigan Wolverines team really needs to step up, needs to rely on the leadership of Hallie Thome and her rebounding, and Danielle Williams and her everything. I don't know if you can describe it exactly, what she has lent to this team thus far with her energy and with her heads-up basketball.
And the Wolverines will start the half with the ball. Danielle Williams back on the court. Also, Sierra Thompson, Madison Rostowski, Hallie Thome, and Caitlin Flaherty for the Wolverines. And now it's Thompson to start off the third quarter. She's on the left wing, dribbling. She finds Thome down low. Quick spin move, but she gets her shot blocked by Vanderkeel, and that's going to go out of bounds and stay with the Wolverines. So Sierra Thompson on the baseline finds an open Caitlin Flaherty, just on the line. She puts up the basket, and that one drops in. So 39-32, Wolverines score the first basket in the second half. Wright State going the other way. There's a trap at half court. Demings now to Denham, and it's going to go the other way to the Wolverines after a miss, and now there's a foul. Wolverines falling to the ground.
Rostowski caught up in a little bit of traffic there and got knocked down. It looks like she's okay. She's kind of favoring one knee at this point, but looks like as she jogs back onto the court, like everything's okay.
So Thompson on the left wing, trying to get someone to get open. Now down low to Thome, back out to Thompson. Pulls up for a jumper from the foul line, no good, and rebound to Wright State. Now Demings the other way. She's going to give it to Taylor. Taylor drives all the way, scoop for the layup, no good. Rebound to Rostowski, who outlets it to Flaherty. Flaherty feeds it to Sierra Thompson as she drives to the basket, but that's no good. Blocked by Vanderkeel the other way to Demings. She's going to look down low. No good as it's stolen by Rostowski. Hallie Thome going the other way. She's going to go all the way, puts up a crazy layup, no good. Rebound to Wright State, and now it's Demings who's going to slow it down for the Raiders.
She was trying to draw the foul there, Hallie Thome was, and she's a little bit off balance, and it was a little bit late, and it just kind of looked sloppy.
Demings with the strong move to the basket. No good on the layup, but she is fouled.
Do a quick shout out here to our officials for tonight, Barb Smith, Brian Enterline, and Bob Enterline. My question there, is it like a father-son thing, or is it brother and brother? I can't really tell from this far out. You can tell that they look similar, though.
The first shot is up and in. That'll be Demings' third point, and Wright State's now has 33 to the Wolverines' 39 with 8:20 to go in the third. Demings makes her second. Now it's Thompson. She gives it to Flaherty. Flaherty's going to drive to the middle, give it to Rostowski. Rostowski drives the lane, dumps it down to Thome. Thome for the layup.
Thome with that inside play, absolutely dwarfing Vanderkeel.
Now there's a trap at half court, and Flaherty's going to steal the pass intended for Denham. Now the other way is Flaherty. She hesitates, then drives, puts up the lefty layup, and that one falls. It's 43-34, and Wright State wants a timeout.
Rightly so. There was no pun intended right there. I'm actually kind of proud of it, though, in retrospect. 9-point lead here, and the largest lead for the Michigan Wolverines at this point. The fans are ready. They're about to turn them loose into the Blues Brothers song. But one statistic I'd like to point to is in these runs that each team has had, Michigan has been the team that has capitalized more so. Michigan has 9 turnovers on the night, Wright State with 12. But in terms of points off of turnovers, Michigan is beating Wright State by a ratio of 10-2. So these are the ways in which that a Michigan team can really pull away and put away the Raiders, is if they take advantage of runs like this and continue to score and go into the fourth quarter, hopefully with a little bit of a comfortable lead, rather than go into halftime the way they did at a kind of a tenuous 2-point, 3-point lead.
And now the Wolverines have 3 scores in double digits. Thompson with 13, Flaherty with 11, Williams with 10, and Thome, who just had a good layup down low, she now has 5 points, so maybe she can get back on track. As you said earlier, she does put up big numbers for a freshman. But leading the way for the other side is Vanderkeel with 10 points and 8 rebounds, almost to a double-double. Then the next scorer is going to be Lexi Smith for the Raiders. She has 6 points on 2 for 3 shooting. Demings, their usual high scorer, has 4 points, but as Brett mentioned earlier, she is already in foul trouble with 3.
And that's not where you want to see your number one scorer this early in the game, and especially in the postseason. If you want to be aggressive at this point, as the Wright State head coach, as Mike Bradbury, if you want to be aggressive at this point, if you want to start pushing a little bit and seeing if you can salvage what's left of this WNIT bid right here, you're going to need to get aggressive. The person that they've been going to time and again has been Kim Dennings. With 3 fouls, though, she can't be that person right now. The question is, do you allow her to get her 4th before you sit her down?
And she is still in the game. She'll have the ball right now, bringing it up. She's going to meet a Wolverines press. Rostovsky leading it. Now back to Demings. She's going to find Simmons down low to Vanderkeel, and there's going to be a foul. She'll go to the line for 2. That was on Hallie Thome. That will be her 2nd foul. She makes the first. Now it's 43-35. Wolverines lead with 7:40 in the third. Vanderkeel misses the second one as it rattles in and out. Rebound to Danielle Williams, who finds Sierra Thompson. Dribbles behind the back, picks up her dribble, now gives it to Thome down low. Up and under move, no good with the layup. Danielle Williams there to clean up the boards. She now looks down to Thome. Thome kicks it to Flaherty in the corner, just on the line. That one rattles in. 45-35, 10-point lead as Flaherty now has 13. Demings kicks it over to Denham. Now in the corner to Simmons. Simmons back up top to Demings, who puts up the 3. That one off the side of the rim, out of bounds, off of Wright State to the Wolverines.
Madison Rostovsky playing a big role here in, as I said, a record-tying game for her. And you can tell that she's realizing that this might be her last time in the spotlight in Chrysler.
She has 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Now it's Thompson up top, who finds Rostovsky wide open for the 3. That one is up and in. She heard you. She now has 5 points.
You know, they always hear me, Emily. I speak very loudly.
Now Denham, she's going to be dribbling against Thompson up top to Demings, who is going to charge into Williams, but no foul at all is called. Shot up by Denham, no good. Rebound goes to Williams. Dribbling the other way, she tries to find Sierra Thompson, who is not looking for the ball, so it's going to go out of bounds back to Wright State.
Michigan on a 6-0 run for the last just over a minute and making 4 of their last 5. That's the kind of offensive production that we've seen from this team, but they've struggled against conference opponents. So playing somebody from the Horizon League, a little bit of a break right now.
And now on the other end, it's Simmons who's going to miss the short jumper from the block. And now it's going to be another turnover for the Wolverines as Caitlin Flaherty is unable to hold on to the pass that goes out of bounds. So Boogie Brzezowski will check in for Sierra Thompson. So Wolverines lead 48-35.
Definitely the biggest lead of the game at this point. And, we've talked about Vanderkyle a little bit from the Wright State Raiders, but really nobody else has been stepping up offensively.
We're going to have a turnover now for Wright State as Jillian Dunstan checks in for Danielle Williams.
You have Lexi Smith with 6 points and Simmons with 5, but that's pretty much the only other offensive production that you've had from Wright State all night from anybody. So the bench is really pretty shallow at this point.
Now the Wolverines on offense. It's Brzezowski. She dribbles left. She's going to pick it up, give it to Flaherty. Jumper from the left elbow. No good. Rebounds to Demings. Demings crosses the timeline. She finds Taylor in the corner who dribbles baseline, tries to give it to Vanderkeel, but the angle just wasn't quite there and it's going to go out of bounds to Michigan. Ball in now to Brzezowski. She'll walk the ball up for the Wolverines. She gives it to Thome on the right wing, now up top to Dunstan. Dunstan swings it to Rostovsky on the left wing, up top, Flaherty. She faked the three, now kicks it to Brzezowski in the right corner for three. No good, rebounds to Taylor. Now she hands it off to Demings, who will bring it up for Wright State. She's up top, guarded by Brzezowski. 17 seconds on the shot clock.
The band's little trick not really working.
They're counting down, but Wright State will miss their shot anyways, but Brzezowski will go to the floor. There's now a scramble for the jump ball between Vanderkeel and Thome. And this time the possession arrow is to Wright State, but we have a timeout as the Wolverines lead 48-35 with 4:24 to go in the third.
You know what I was trying to do there during that last little run? I was looking through the Wright State press packet, and I was going to try to get some fun facts about these people that we've been talking about Demings, about Vanderkyle that we've been talking about this entire night. And I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed. There are no fun facts. It's all statistics and heights and weights, and I don't know their favorite color. I don't know if they have any.
Maybe if you're from Ohio, you don't have any interesting fun facts.
Well, that's perfectly reasonable, but a lot of this team is actually not from Ohio. A lot of this team is from so the school is located in Dayton, but 3 of the starters are from both Indiana and Illinois. But I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to know, if somebody's brother plays lacrosse at Michigan State or something. I don't know. That's always fun to look through the press packet.
Or we have Danielle Williams, whose twin plays for UCLA.
And who we've seen play. Have we seen the twin matchup twice in this arena at this point?
We have now. Both, unfortunately, UCLA victories.
Yeah. Well, it happens.
UCLA is in the NCAA tournament, though, and the Wolverines did hold their own both times against them. So that's something Kim Barnes-Zarico has to be proud of.
Quick update for those of you who have your brackets all filled out and are ready for March Madness to start. The 16 seed matchup that's going on right now, I'm going to give you an update. Before as we said, the Michigan game that starts tonight at 9 on True TV. It's the Holy Cross Crusaders, who are just above the Southern University Jaguars right now for the 16 seed. And I think all 10 fans of both of those teams are in attendance, which is nice. No, I'm sorry. I feel bad about that one now.
Well, now the fans here at Chrysler are getting ready for the play to come back onto the court. And it will be Wright State with the ball. Demings met by Nicole Munger. So she will try to give it to Denham, but that's stolen by the Wolverines. Now Flaherty for a jumper from the left. That one falls. Give her 16 and a 50-35 Wolverines lead.
Once again in double digits for that powerhouse, Caitlin Flaherty.
And Flaherty now potentially takes the charge, but there's a no call. Now down low to Smith. She's pivoting around. She's going to put up a layup. No good. Rebound to Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell gives it to Flaherty. Flaherty will find Munger in the left corner. Munger back up top to Flaherty. Now reverse to the right wing, Thompson. Down low to Mitchell. Back out to Flaherty. Up top, Munger. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Munger to Flaherty up top. She has 4 seconds. Flaherty gets herself some space, puts up the three, and that one falls.
Line drive by Flaherty. You know that as soon as it gets within 5 seconds and she realizes it, if Flaherty has the ball, she's popping that three-pointer.
Now Wright State flustered by the Wolverines defense. It's Smith who kicks it to Denham. Denham's going to drive baseline now, tries to kick it to the corner to Taylor. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Sierra Thompson. So the Raiders will get another opportunity on offense with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Wright State is on a scoring drought of 4 minutes and 36 seconds. They look to get the ball in the basket this time. Into Smith, handoff to Demings, puts up the three, no good. But Kelsey Mitchell is going to tap the rebound out of bounds. So Wright State will have a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock.
See, just a few flips of a page here in the Michigan handbook, and I know that Sierra Thompson has a sister, Simone, who plays basketball at Cal State Dominguez Hills. That's what I want to know.
Talk to the media director at Wright State. But now it's going to be a miss by Smith. Rebound by Thompson. Thompson outlets it to Munger. Munger driving left, and she's going to be called for, looks like a push-off. She tries to drive to the basket. That will be Munger's first foul. Now, Demings, she's in the backcourt. She's going to dribble across the timeline. She's going all the way to the basket, pulls up for the jumper over Kelsey Mitchell, and that one falls. She finally gets her team some points. It's 53-37.
Breaking a long scoring drought for the Raiders there, but not pretty on the other end of it, down 16.
And now Thompson on the left wing gets a screen from Dunston. She gives it up top to Flaherty. Flaherty scoops, passes it to Thompson, who's going to drive, then kicks it to Kelsey Mitchell, cutting to the basket for a ready layup. That one's good.
See, this is the kind of game that if you're Kim Barnes-Rico, this is what you expected to see with your team against a team like Wright State.
And now Wright State charging to the basket at Smith. Her layup's no good. She gets her own rebound, tries to put it back up. It's rejected by Mitchell, but Wright State gets it back. Taylor for the long three, no good. Rebound to Munger. Munger's going to dribble it, then give it to Dunston on the right wing. Now up top to Munger. Thompson, Flaherty in the left corner for a three. She puts it up, no good, but Dunston's there for the rebound. She controls it and gives it out to Thompson. Thompson up top. Now Flaherty left wing to Dunston. Now right wing Munger. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And a minute to go in this third period. Now Flaherty, she gets a screen from Dunston with 5 seconds. She's going to dribble all the way, put up the righty layup. That one's good. The Wolverines now up 20, 57-37. Wright State trying to get it across half court. They will. Now it's Smith in the corner to Taylor. Thought about a three. Now Demings down the corner to Vogelpol. Now out to Taylor. Puts up a three. No good. Vanderkeel there for the rebound and the putback. Now 25 seconds. The shot clock is off. Sierra Thompson has the ball with the Wolverines up 57-39. Flaherty on the right wing. She gives it back to Thompson, who drives and is pushed from behind. There's going to be a foul.
It was like a mugging.
The Wolverines bench not happy about that one.
Maybe we're just too far away. Maybe it was very nice and polite.
A nice shove.
Mm-hmm.
Now with 9.4 on the clock, Thompson gets it into Rostovsky. She picks up her dribble, hands it back to Thompson. 4 seconds. She puts up a three. That one falls with a second to go. It's 60-39 at the buzzer going into the fourth. The Wolverines, who were in a close one at the beginning of the third, they have pulled away so far. Thompson has 16. The Wolverines are led by their top scorer, Caitlin Flaherty. She has 21 points.
Big lead from, in comparison with going into halftime, they had a 5-point lead. Now the Wolverines ahead by a whopping 21. And yes, it's due to Flaherty, but I'd like to put it in context real quick. Yes, Flaherty has 21 and is the leading scorer. Flaherty is also shooting just over 50%. And she is, wait for it, 3 for 8 from beyond the three-point arc. Not necessarily the best numbers at all for Caitlin Flaherty. Not exactly what we're used to seeing from her. She's 9 for 17 from the field in general. But I think that goes back to what we've said time and again about Caitlin Flaherty. She has a little bit of immaturity that she's continuing to deal with. And she is an offensive producer, but you also have to recognize she's taking all the shots. You know what I'm saying? She as if you're taking 17 shots, that's not exactly a thing that you should be proud of if you only have 21 points to show for it at this level of basketball, and if you're an offensive leader.
And one thing Caitlin Flaherty is going to work on is, she gets older and she becomes an upperclassman. She only has 1 assist right now. And if she wants to be the true leader of the team, she's going to have to work the ball around a little bit. But she's definitely changed her game from last year where she was just a spot-up shooter. But now we see she can get herself open off the dribble and get that shot up. So it's just continual improvement for Flaherty. And along with other players on the Wolverines, as we see Thome struggling tonight, 2 for 8. She has 5 points, but she does have 10 rebounds. So she's been making the most of her time on the court for what she can do tonight.
And continuing a little bit of a disappointing night for the Wright State Raiders. Kim Demings now definitely in foul trouble with her 4th. Nobody else, though, in foul trouble.
Demings only has 6 points, but she does have 5 rebounds. Both teams getting back onto the court.
The band now playing one of my favorite songs, and they'll sing it a cappella in a second. Who? I want to know.
Now down low to Thome. 4-2, 62-39. Wright State only shooting 27%. They're trying to get their offensive flowing, but they're being stopped by the Wolverines' full court trap. But now it's Simmons down the other way. She gives it down low to Smith. Smith misses the layup, and it is rebounded by Sierra Thompson. She gives it to Munger. Munger floats it down low to Thome. Thome on the left block goes up for the left hook shot. No good, and it's going to be pulled down by Vogelpohl. She's going to slow it up half court at the M. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Now Smith dumps it down low to Vanderkeel. She puts it up and gets 2 points for her team, Wright State. It's now 62-41 with 9 minutes to go in the game. Thome down low again. She kicks it out to Rostovsky, who puts up a 3 from the right wing. Rostovsky gets that one to fall. She now has 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 assists. Now it's Taylor. Going the other way, she picks up her dribble right in a Wolverine's trap, but she gets it to Vanderkeel. Now kicks it to Vogelpol. She's guarded by Munger. She picks up her dribble, hands it off to Taylor. Taylor dribbles right. She hands it off to Simmons. Now down low to Vanderkeel. Throws up a layup. No good. Rebound tap to Thome. Now she will hand it to Rostowski. We'll slow it up on the other end. Now Danielle Williams, left wing. Down low to Thome. She faces the basket and spins to the basket, but they're going to call her for a travel. Too many steps as Thome's trying to get creative with her post moves. Now Taylor the other way. Demings is still in the game. She's going to give it back to Taylor, or Vogelpal, excuse me. And it's going to go the other way, though, to the Wolverines, as Vogelpol is going to be called for a foul. She's using her offhand to push a little bit. The Wolverines are trapping once again at half court.
A little bit of a late whistle, though. Hallie Thome had it, although she had to fight for it. But more often than not, I feel like you'll see refs just kind of let that go as long as the end result of the play isn't any different.
Thompson up top with 12 seconds on the Wolverine shot clock. She drives right, kicks it out to Munger in the right corner. Back to Thompson. She puts up a three. That one's no good, and rebound by Vogelpol. She's going to bring it the other way for the Raiders. She gives it to Demings, who is tripped up by Thompson. If Thompson hadn't tripped her up, Demings might have found her way to the basket. But now Wright State will have the ball under their own basket with a fresh shot clock.
Williams, Thompson, Rostowski, and Thome are the stars of tonight's game. And if you ask me, I think that should be those four should be the definite starting lineup in the next game. And then the fifth person on the floor for the Wolverines all night has been kind of rotating in when necessary. But those have been the leaders.
And now we're going to give 2 points to Vanderkeel, 65-43.
Well, we're not going to give them. I think she earned them.
Wolverines let her get to the basket. Now it's Danielle Williams up top. Thome finds a cutting Sierra Thompson, who goes up for the reverse layup. No good. Rebound by Demings. She's going to find Vogelpol, guarded by Williams. Now back to Demings. She's just going to dribble up top. Guarded by Thompson. She picks it up, gives it to Vogelpol. Back to Demings, who puts up a three from the left wing. No good. Rebound to Munger. Munger kicks it to Thompson. Now Thompson down low to Thome. Thome finds Munger wide open on the left wing for the three. Munger gets that one to fall. That will be her first points of the game. It's now 68-43.
Great motivation for Munger, the freshman. She's appeared in all but one game, and stuff like that really proves her worth.
Now Vogelpol will answer with a three of her own from the corner. Thompson finds Munger. Munger's going to drive. She goes all the way for the right-handed layup. She gets that one as well. Munger has a quick 5 points. Now Vogelpol tries to get it to Taylor, but it's cut off by Danielle Williams. She goes all the way. Demings just stops, and Danielle Williams says, okay, give me another two. She has 12.
And she was all like, okay, sure.
Now down low to Vanderkeel. She gets those two. 72-48. There's going to be a timeout now. 4 Wolverines will sub in. That's Jillian Dunston, Brzezowski, Kelsey Mitchell, and Flaherty after this timeout.
At this point, if you're Kim Barnes Rico, you're pretty comfortable with how your team has played since halftime. whatever adjustments you made, whatever advice you gave them at halftime, it's clearly working, and they're definitely in a good place right now to move forward in this tournament. Keep in mind, they haven't played in 13 days. Last time that they played was the Big Ten tournament at Iowa, and then before that wasn't, and they haven't been home since February 20th. So it's been a while for this Michigan women's basketball team. So we know that they're comfortable at home. This definitely shows that they've settled down a little bit more, and that they're ready for maybe ready to put together a postseason kind of a run, as they've gone up a whole 24 points now on the Wright State Raiders.
13 days is a long time to go without playing a real basketball game. I know Dalton is a great basketball player, and he probably pushes them in practice, but it's not the same as a real game.
Oh, you mean WCBN's own
Dalton
resident
Stocky.
insider of women's basketball and the creator of the wildly popular podcast Riding the Pine, Mr. Dalton J. Pataki. Dalt. Yeah, he's our inside man. He's on the practice squad with the women's basketball team. Gives us all the inside information whenever he can. Unfortunately, he is, fortunately, I suppose for him, I believe he's the one in Dayton right now.
Yeah.
And he will be on the coverage tonight at 9:10 as the men's basketball team takes on Tulsa. The winner of that game will go on to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, ranked number 6. And I'm sure that the rest of WCBN will be tuned in and watching. Or listening, rather.
Now the Michigan women's basketball team going to close off their win. Hopefully send a little luck to the men.
Oh, knock wood now. We got 5 minutes left. This is linoleum. It's close enough.
It's Thompson to Flaherty. They have 15 seconds on the shot clock. Kelsey Mitchell down low on the right block. Just going to kick it out to Flaherty. A little messy pass, but she keeps it. 5. And now in the corner to Thompson for 3. She gets that one to go. Sierra Thompson now has 19. 75-48. Taylor to Demings. Now to Smith, but her pass is going to be stolen by Jillian Dunstan, who gives it to Flaherty. Flaherty dribbles it into Thompson's hands. Now back to Flaherty. Down low to Mitchell. She will go under the basket for a hook shot. She gets that one to go. Reverse layup.
Whatever Kim Burns-Rico told them at halftime, it was a way to parse the Wright State defense and to lock down any chance they had of making this a game.
As Wright State misses another 3, it's going to go to Thompson the other way for the Wolverines. Brzezowski feeds it down low to Mitchell, who tries to go for the layup, but it's blocked by Vanderkeel. Demings is going to go the other way for Wright State. She's charging down the other way, kicks it at the corner to Taylor, puts up the 3. That one falls. So it's now 77-51, 3:30 left in the game. Thompson and the Wolverines slowing up the offense. Now Flaherty up top. Back to Sierra Thompson. Thompson gives it to Flaherty, who puts up the long 3. No good. Kelsey Mitchell trying to track down the rebound. She's going to throw it, though, to Vogelpohl. And now Demings the other way. She gets a floater. And now the other way, it's Flaherty. Down low to Mitchell. Mitchell dribbling to the right. Spin move. Puts it up. No good. Rebound, Vanderkeel. Demings the other way. She picks up her dribble. She will hand it off to Denham. Now to Taylor. Taylor trying to feed down low, but Jillian Dunston's there for the steal. Gives it to Flaherty, who's wide open down the court all by herself, and she gets the layup. It's now 79-53 with 2:30 to go, and there's a timeout.
A high-scoring game from one of the most impressive offensive seasons in Wolverines history. They've already ranked in the top 5 in program history in terms of home wins. They're tied for third with 12 points. They're number 2nd with over 2,300. And points per game, they're number 1 with 78.6, and they've obviously made that mark again tonight. Field goals made, they're 3rd with 899. Field goal percentage, they're 1st with their 48% field goal percentage. And they're 1st as well in terms of 3-point field goal percentage. They're making 40% of those. So a highly effective offensive team for Kim Barnes-Zarico this year. The question is, if it's such a highly effective offensive team, why did they not do better in Big Ten conference play? Because, as we know, Michigan split Big Ten conference play. They went 9-9. They struggled in the Big Ten tournament, falling very early.
I think part of it has to do with just their speed and quickness on both ends of the floor. And then they don't have that go-to player. And when they play teams like Ohio State, Michigan State, and Maryland on top of the Big Ten in women's basketball, they just don't have what it takes to keep up with those just fast and strong teams. Now back on the court is Wright State. Up top is Taylor. She's going to dribble to her right and hand it off to Demings. They have 15 seconds on their shot clock. Hand off to Denham. She drives baseline, kicks it to Taylor in the corner, but before that pass is going to be a charge. We have Sam Trammell now in the game, making the most of her short time on the court, drawing the charge. And now Maria Backman is also checked in for the first time this evening.
Fan favorite, Maria Backman.
Now it's Munger, Dunston, Trammell, Backman, and Brzezowski. The bench in the game, but they're all hustle players. Brzezowski up top. She finds Trammell on the left wing. Now to Backman. Brzezowski, right wing. Up top to Munger. She has an open jumper, no good, but Dunston's there for the rebound. She's going to kick it back out to Munger, and now Brzezowski. With 1:40 to go, the Wolverines have the ball. Munger drives the baseline, puts up a little floater, no good. Rebound goes to Sam Trammell. She kicks it out to Dunston, and now it's slowed down up top by Brzezowski. It's 79-53, a minute 20 left in the game. Munger throws the ball away, and now it's Demings going the other way against 2 Wolverines. She's going to be fouled. It's going to be on maybe Nicole Munger, and that will be her second. Wright State under their own basket. It's Denham. She'll look for a teammate. She finds Demings, who's quickly fouled by Boogie Brzezowski. That will be her third.
As we've mentioned, the winner of this game, and it looks like it's going to be Michigan, will face the winner of Akron versus Bucknell, playing tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time in Akron.
And there's a block by Sam Trammell. Now the Wolverines, a fast break, and it's finished off by a Jillian Dunston layup.
Bringing lead to 81-53. The Wolverines up top with just inside of a minute.
Deming's still out there with 4 fouls, but she's going to turn it over to Maria Backman. Now Boogie leading the fast break, and she's going to throw it off of Wright State out of bounds, so the Wolverines will keep it. The fans starting to get loud as they anticipate this Wolverines lead. And Hallie Wengler is now on the court. She rarely gets to step out on the court, but she was given a scholarship this season, and she is a team and fan favorite.
Yeah, I was going to say another fan favorite. And how about the fact, I have to mention it, that Michigan has played great defensive basketball, only allowing 21 points in the second half thus far.
Now the Wolverines will throw the ball away with 37.8 to go. Deming slowly crosses the timeline. She's just going to dribble off the time. She has 20 seconds on the shot clock. She finds Smith to Vanderkeel. Now handoff to Demings, who puts up the jumper. That one's going to be rebounded by Hallie Wangler. Now Brzezowski, she's going to just dribble the time off the clock. There's 8 seconds. The Wolverines are going to win the first round of the WNIT 81-53 over Wright State. And with a slow start, looking a little close at first, the Wolverines were able to pull ahead and show that they're ready to continue on in this WNIT and give Madison Rostowski another chance to play as a Wolverine.
And next game that she plays, she will set the record for the most games played as a Wolverine. Wright State trying to keep it close early on, but ran out of steam, and the Wolverines will continue this weekend in round number 2 of the WNIT. We'd like to thank you for tuning in and encourage you to turn into WCBN's coverage later tonight of the Michigan men's basketball game against Tulsa. Dalton Pataki will have coverage for you. On behalf of Emily Herrard, my name is Brett Graham here for WCBN Sports. We're going to leave you with a good night and a Go Blue.